This is a game review for Cell Command, a microbiology game made by Filament Games, probably one of the best educational game companies in the whole world. My name is Johan De Bruin. I'm a former software engineer at Riot Games and now founder and developer of Erudis Games. For the last 3 months, my brother and I spent our time developing and releasing Grammar's War, an English grammar game focused on the parts of the speech. Please check it out at www.grammarswars.com. Cell Command is a 2D game available for mobile, PC and web. It focuses on teaching the cell theory, which is explain things like the structure of a cell or cell organelles. The game goes through different levels and they are all surrounded by a deep story. You are the commander of a cell ship and you are responsible to heal different issues and pathogens. Your officers, which are represented by captains, they are the organelles. The story goes through 18 different levels and 6 minigames. The most educational moment is when you have to deal with the overall cell structure. Here you have to follow the steps and mimic how a cell works. So for example, you click on the cell membrane receptor to gather some nutrients, drop them in the mitochondria who generates energy. This energy can be fed to the ribosome, vesicles can be dragged from the Golgi to the lysosome, and waste from the lysosome out again to the cell membrane. After being introduced to a quick story session, you will have to play one of the 6 different available minigames. The first minigame is the cell membrane. Here you have to absorb nutrients by rotating a cell as the nutrients follow you. You will need to match the colors and avoid the poisons. Very simple game that represents how the membrane interacts with the overall organism. For the mitochondria game, you have to focus on gathering resources. You need to click on the different mitochondria available to absorb nearby chemicals. Glucose and oxygen will help you, CO2 will harm you. The Golgi minigame is a small match the shape minigame, where you have to shape proteins into a specific form. This is represented as the Golgi grid, and there is always a destination present, which is the lysosome. The lysosome minigame is finally, that's it, a shooting game. Well, not exactly. In this case we use an enzyme cannon to recycle material. This material will travel through the endosome through a path that we have to define. Then we shoot them to process those, recycled material. The Ribosome Minigame is a simple matching game where you have to match uracil, guanine, adenine and cytosine into the other respective match in the condom ribosome. Pretty simple, and it doesn't give you too much challenge here. It represents how the protein are made from amino acids and mRNA. Finally, the duplication minigame represents how the cell prepares for mitosis. You have to combine different chromosomes with centromeres to build microtubules. Once you bind both of the strands, you will be ready for duplication. And the challenge is to place and activate the chromosomes on the right time. Besides of an interesting minigame setup and a good ambience, the game is followed by a student-teacher guide, which follows the science standards. Alright, let's score this game through our 3 different categories. Remember, gameplay is where we score how fun and deep the system dynamics are. Polish is where we score things like art, animation, music, and overall appeal. And finally, education is where we score our educational value and depth of the game. So, gameplay 5/10. The game does a great job symbolizing concepts through gameplay. The minigames are interactive and entertaining, but pretty basic. There are a few confusing concepts, like for example you get CE across the game, but nothing to use it with. Polish 5/10. The 2D illustrations are pretty good, and it gives you great immersion in the game. There are a few animations, but they are slacky and well placed. Unfortunately, there are no illustrated animations, besides of characters moving their eyes or their mouth. The epic music style does fit with the game theme though. Education 7/10. Everything in the game was correctly designed to give educational value. The game exposes you to an extensive vocabulary and the major organelles of the cell, and it uses the next generation science standard. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoy educational games or development, please like and subscribe.